I tell a story oftentimes about a village in Switzerland. They had the best ski slopes on the planet, and people would go to the edge and look over and fall. And they didn't. This wasn't beginners. This was an expert ski slope. But everyone like, oh, and they fall. Well, the townspeople got together. They decided they have to deal with this. So they decided to buy a very, very expensive ambulance to outfit them with the best equipment, big pharma contracts, surgeon contracts, nursing contracts, healthcare, hospital contracts. They spent $28 million. And when someone fell, boom, they were right there to pick them up and give them the best care on the planet. So I called them, me being who I am. I said, hey guys, I have a cousin. He lives in Teaneck, New Jersey. He's a contractor. And he said for $1,400, and actually he'd give you a discount, he could put up a fence. And they said, oh, well, no, we've invested already. We can't do that. I think gyms and health clubs are fences. And if they market themselves that way to prevent illness, we know that exercise is medicine. It is healthy. It's healthy for you. Why take medicine when I can exercise and not have to take medicine? And so I think that there's just a mindset. The same thing with stress management. Why manage what you can prevent? And the gyms that I consult to, I always say, why managing what you can help people prevent? They spend less, they wind up spending more with you, but they spend less on other things that give them more money to spend on stuff for you. So I'm a big believer in prevention at every level. And I think that this COVID situation, as you said earlier, it's going to go on and on. There's going to be a round two. We're going to have to be very careful as we open gyms. And I just want gyms to be cutting edge, to be so resolute in thinking about what can be different. Not just rush back. We're here. We're back. Let's really be on the cutting edge of what's leapfrog ahead. And you can do that, I believe, with one group, that is people who have obesity, but even if not, show that something is palpably different. Offer integrative healthcare. We're aligned with physicians in our neighborhood. We are partners with local hospital. We are partners with one gym that I work with in Arizona does actual blood tests in the gym, and they send it out to their physicians, and the physicians read it and send it back and give the people information. But that's it. I want to have them partner and have healthcare as part of that gym now. That's prevention.
And do you just part of that question? You know, if you don't feel comfortable in answering it, that's fine. But you know, as it relates to the government, why are they not pushing this a lot harder than what they should be doing?
Well, you know the Mickey Mouse song, M-I-C-K-E-Y, M-O-N-E-Y, M-O-N-E-Y, money. Follow the money. That's what it's about. It's all about money, power, self-aggrandizement. I don't think I'm being cynical, although I am a skeptic. But I think follow the money, and you'll see why the money is going to be spent on the cure when prevention is what it's about. I read a crazy statistic this morning. 90% of those hospitalized in San Francisco with COVID are people who were disregarding all of the rules. They were going out to work. They were going out and about. I don't know if it's inaccurate. It could be fake news. There's so much of it. But take care of yourself. Look, the big question that people are asking today, Matt, is, do you really feel safe going back to a gym? But that's going to rely on some more cleaning and maybe a mask. Here's a wipe it down yourself. And although 80% are looking forward to going back, many people have trepidation. The gyms need to speak to that fear and show how they are doing more than what the government is suggesting.
Yeah. So one of the things that we discussed off camera, I'd be interested in, in your thoughts now. What does leadership mean at the moment? What's it's an interesting time. I guess everybody's exposed, businesses. What are your thoughts on how to be a leader through these times? What are some of the positive and negatives things that you're seeing?
Well, I think the number one is I've given the keynote address at the Transformational Leadership Council, and I coach a lot of executives who consider themselves to be transformational leaders. These are people who have open minds. They are completely open and free to entertain all kinds of possibilities for what can be. They're cheerleaders of other people. They are resolute in their stick-to-itiveness. They never give up, ever. Nothing, whatever stops them doesn't stop them. They're willing to, they put their egos out the door. They don't have egos. They may look like they do. You may see pictures of them, posting with their fancy watch or whatever, but they don't have egos. These are people who have a cultural focus. They're folks who have compassion, who are formidable in every way. They're team focused. They want to teach people how profit, as Chuck Runyon says, as an example, is about playfulness, is about profit, financial profit, is about people, and is about one of the things I'm forgetting right now, but that's okay. It'll come back to me later. I think transformational leaders are people who are in the minds of others for their benefit and see how they can help people. They're quixotic, they're original thinkers, they're proactive, they take preemptive steps, and they're never fearful. They have nothing that holds them back. They're willing to take those risks. I could go on and on and on talking about this. That's a whole presentation by itself. But I think that those are some things that right now gym leaders, and there are many, many of them, who are going to be successful opening their gyms. But there's a small group that are off over here, and they're not thinking about tomorrow. Tomorrow is already yesterday. They're thinking about a year from now. They're thinking about what's going to happen when this occurs again. What's the next group we can reach into? How do we become not just a better looking club, but a more fully functioning club? How do we touch the lives of people other than having a fancier treadmill?
And that sort of goes into the conversation we had about, the terminology, going back, let's get back, let's get open. And I think you're saying that, that's probably the wrong way to look at it. And I guess particularly where there's a lot of, if you look at the consumers out there, that you're going to have some people that feel safe to go back using those words and others that don't. So what's your views about going back and why that may not be the right way to think about it?
Well, because the windshield is always larger than the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror is where I was. I don't want to open a gym or a health club that is still anchored in the 1970s or centuries ago. I gave a talk a couple years ago. I said that yesterday it was the gymnasium, the old Greek Roman gymnasiums. And then it became fitness centers and then medical fitness centers. Well, today is almost over. Tomorrow is going to come and go. We'll have another pandemic, which that we've ignored, the obesity pandemic. How about thinking about something completely new, much broader, much more inclusive? The optimal health center. That's what people want now. They don't just, most people don't just want muscle or shredded abs or six pack. They want health. As the population gets older, they want to live longer. They want longevity. As blue zones get more and more popular today, and they're telling people who have longevity aren't joining gyms or lifting weights. They have non-exercise thermogenesis, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, neat exercise. Um, the message is almost you don't need a gym. I want gyms to say, of course you need us. You don't need me to rent my treadmill or to rent my weights. You have that at home. You bought that for yourself last month. The Total Gym, you got that at home. Mark LeBear, I love the guy. His system, I have two of those things in my home gym. Wow. We have equipment from TRX, everything in the world. I don't need to go to a gym to rent their equipment. I go to the gym for other reasons. I want training. I want socialization. I want camaraderie. But the gym starts becoming my preventive health center. Wow. That's what gym leaders ought to be thinking about. Not going back to just opening the doors and every other treadmill now, guys. We're the same. No, you're going to lose. You're going to lose to the handful of people over here who are whispering what's going to be in version 5.0.